World Cup, he's been involved in 13 matches with Portugal and with Iran. So in the 13 matches he has played at the World Cup or he has coached at the World Cup, his team has conceded 14 goals and his team has also scored 14 goals. So I don't know if I'm permitted to call him Coach 1414. Once again, you're welcome to Eben Media Sports Extra on YouTube. So the Black Stars will be involved in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. They've been placed in Group L alongside Panama, England and Croatia. Today we are asking, is there any hope for the Black Stars under Carlos Queiroz in terms of progressing from their group at the 2026 FIFA World Cup? And we delve into action without wasting time. So we'll be looking at the numbers of Carlos Queiroz at the World Cup and we'll just oppose it to the numbers of the Black Stars in recent times, and we'll do the analysis qualitatively. If there is hope for the Black Stars, we will also consider the quantitative bit. So for Carlos Queiroz as a coach, he is a journeyman, I must say. He stint with the Portuguese under-20 side, where he won the under-20 World Cup twice in '89 and 1991. He stints at Manchester United as assistant coach, head coach of Real Madrid during the Galacticos era. Qualified South Africa to the World Cup in 2022, but he was not there to coach the team. And his stint with Portugal, 2010 FIFA World Cup, Iran, 2014, 2018, and 2022. So he has been there on several occasions, and we'll be looking at his numbers. So at the World Cup, he's been involved in 13 matches with Portugal and with Iran. 13 matches played at the World Cup. When it comes to goals scored, we have 14 goals. 14 goals scored in 13 matches and 14 goals conceded in 13 matches. So in the 13 matches he has played at the World Cup or he has coached at the World Cup, his team has conceded 14 goals and his team has also scored 14 goals. So I don't know if I'm permitted to call him Coach 1414. 14 goals scored, 14 goals conceded in 13 matches. So clearly, when it comes to goal scoring, it doesn't look good for you to play 13 matches at the World Cup and you have 14 goals as the number of goals scored. It doesn't look good, not the best in terms of goal scoring. And also when it comes to the number of goals you've conceded in 13 matches, 14 goals conceded. So if you are to do the math and you strike, it means you will be, if you do the subtraction, it will be equals to 0. So nothing for us to discuss in terms of output. But that would be so unfair. Goals conceded, because the number of times he's been at the World Cup, he has worked with teams that were underdogs, that were always going into the World Cup not with the mindset of going to win all their matches, but to hang in there to grind results. And you need to consider the materials that were available to Carlos Queiroz. You look at the Iran team in 2014, 2018 and 2022. So it will be so unfair to conclude that because of these numbers, he has not been good at the World Cup. It will be so unfair. Apart from Portugal, that was a team full of Arsenals, the Ronaldos, the Nanis, the Decos, and players who will give you the numbers, the Quaresmas, and apart from the Portuguese national team, I think the Iran team played a vital role in saving Carlos Queiroz with this analysis. So it would be unfair to conclude that he's been bad at the World Cup. But hey, 14 goals scored in 13 matches, that is not great. For the goals conceded, I'll pardon him, but the goals scored, that is not entirely great. But like I said earlier, his teams were not teams that you can conclude that he had everything at his disposal in terms of the arsenals and everything. Charlie, for you to do magic with Iran is something Herculean. We move on to the number of wins. So he has only 3 wins. Only 3 wins in 13 matches. Charlie, only 3 wins. So we've been talking plenty that Carlos Queiroz is the right man for the Blasters job. Carlos Queiroz, he has the experience, but look at the number of wins he has at the FIFA World Cup. Only 3. Only 3 wins out of how many matches? 13 matches. And I'm going to run you through the number of matches. Only 3 wins. Only 3 wins, and he has 6 defeats. So the number of defeats is more than the number of wins. The number of defeats is more than the number of wins. That is also not a good sign. And his best finish at the FIFA World Cup was getting to the round 16 stage with Portugal in 2010. Now, let's juxtapose you to the numbers of Ghana at the FIFA World Cup. And Ghana, surprisingly, has also been to the World Cup 4 times. So Queiroz has been to the World Cup 4 times. Ghana has also been to the World Cup 4 times. And this is going to be the 5th time the Blasters will play at the FIFA World Cup. Well, for Ghana, 50 matches played. We have 6 wins, we have 8 defeats, and we've scored 18 goals in 15 matches at the FIFA World Cup. Where there is concern is the number of goals conceded. We've conceded 22 goals at the FIFA World Cup. So comparing the number of matches played by Carlos Queiroz at the World Cup to Ghana's tally, there is 2 matches difference. Queiroz has 13 matches. Ghana has 15 matches. So only 2 matches separating Carlos Queiroz and the Blasters at the FIFA World Cup. And obviously has to do with Ghana's stupendous performance in 2010. So 2 knockout matches, the round of 16 and the quarter-final matches. So that is the difference. 15 matches played at the FIFA World Cup for Ghana, and the Blasters have conceded 22 goals. So that is where there is a concern. And like I said earlier, Queiroz has been involved in 13 matches at the World Cup, conceded 14 goals. So averagely 1 goal per game. Now, it's always unfair if you will not look at the qualitative aspect, because Queiroz was deprived of certain opportunities, because Iran will always go into the World Cup as underdogs. They don't have a lot of attacking players who are very lethal in front of goal. With Portugal, he superintended over a 7-0 win against North Korea in 2010. The Ronaldos, the Quaresmas, the Decos, they have the attacking players. But for Iran, always you start the match as an underdog. and underdogs play with a pattern, being defensive, hitting the opponent on the breaks. So it will be unfair, and that is why I think Carlos Queiroz defensively, he has done a good job at the FIFA World Cup. Looking at the oppositions he has faced, held Argentina to the point that Argentina only scored just a goal in 2014. And against Spain, Spain scored only a goal, held Portugal in 2018 to a 1-1 draw. His big miss was against England in 2022, where they conceded 6 goals. So he's been brilliant against teams with a lot of arsenals, teams with prolific players. Held Nigeria in 2014 to a 0-0 draw with Iran. So I think one area that he can easily improve per his numbers is the rate at which the Black Stars concede goals at the FIFA World Cup. And in 2022, at the group stage, we exited at the group stage. Ghana conceded 7 goals at the group stage. We scored 2 against Portugal, scored 3 against, that was our second game. We scored 3 against South Korea. So at the group stage, we scored 5 goals, but we conceded 7 because in our last game against Uruguay, we conceded 2 goals. Even against South Korea that we won by 3, we conceded 2 goals. So 7 goals conceded. Looking at the numbers of the Black Stars at the FIFA World Cup, the rate at which we concede goals is not good. It's poor. 22 goals in 15 matches. So Carlos Queiroz, his strength is obviously the defensive aspect of the game. That is why he has brought in Roger Disa, who is more attacking oriented. So the two will give you that blend of attacking football and defensive football. And one area that I think he can easily improve, and he needs to improve, is the rate at which the Black Stars concede goals at the FIFA World Cup. And recently, at the 2022 FIFA World Cup, the last edition of the World Cup we were involved in, we conceded 7 goals in 3 matches at the group stage. So our defense is not good. On the backdrop of what we've done in our recent friendlies, 4 friendlies, and we've conceded 10 goals. 5 goals conceded against Austria, conceded 2 against Germany, conceded 2 against Japan, conceded 1 against South Korea. So this is one area in friendlies at the World Cup. So our defense is on record, and I've given you the numbers. Our defense is not good, and I think per what he has done at the World Cup with Iran, one area that he can easily improve is the frailties, how vulnerable the Black Stars are in defense. 22 goals conceded is nothing to write home about, and I think it is one area he can easily improve, and that should be his major concern. Goal scoring, we are quite good. 18 goals in 15 matches is something positive. And guess what? The Black Stars do not, it's not too common to see the Black Stars play a 0-0 draw at the FIFA World Cup. Yeah, it has never happened. 2006, we lost to Italy by 2 goals. Against Czech, we won by 2 goals. Against USA, we won by 2 goals to 1. 2010, 1-0 win against Serbia, 1-0 win against Australia. We lost 1-0 to Germany. In 2014, we lost 2-1 to USA. We played 2-2 draw against Germany. Our last game against Portugal, we lost by 2 goals to 1. Fast forward 2022, we lost 3-2 to Portugal. We won 3-2 against South Korea, and our last game against Uruguay, we lost by a goal to 0. So we don't play 0-0 draw. It's either we are losing by 2-0 or we are losing by 2-1. So our scoring rate is very positive, and I'm not expecting anything different from the Black Stars when it comes to scoring at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I think they are going to do pretty well in front of goal, but the defense is one area I do not trust. That is why I think, looking at the strength of Carlos Queiroz, it is one area that he needs to improve, and he has the weapon to do that. Now, realistically, I think Ghana can qualify to the knockout stage because, not necessarily because of the ability of Carlos Queiroz, but I think if he's able to improve the defense, Ghana stands a good chance of qualifying to the knockout stage, taking into the fact that, or considering the fact that the format has also changed, and a win against Panama, even with 3 points, Ghana can make it to the knockout stage, because this time round the knockout stage will start from round of 32. So we have 2 countries qualifying from the 12 groups, and that will, in total, we'll have 24 countries, and 8 countries will be selected as best third place countries. That will give us a total tally of 32 at the knockout stage, before we will get to the round 16 stage, quarterfinal stage, semi-final, and final. So realistically, Ghana can make it to the knockout stage. Well, do well to subscribe to CBN Media Sports Extra on YouTube for the very best of sporting content, and let me hear from you in the comment section. Have a wonderful day.